Alright, hi, this is a quick test of a wireless lapel mic which I ordered from Hong Kong. It cost about $10 US. Comes supplied with a lapel mic which connects to a transmitter which has a 9-volt battery inside it, and that was supplied, came with batteries, which is nice, and it's got an on-off switch and a volume control here which you can adjust. It's currently set to about a 1/3 volume at the moment. I'll turn it up later on, and it comes with a receiver which is currently plugged into the camera, which uses, I think it was an AA battery, which also was supplied. It came with both the batteries it needed, so it's plugged into the camera. That just has an on-off switch and a little dangly wire aerial sticking off it. I've tried it on a couple of different cameras and it seems to have a very loud output. So the receiver is really loud. What that means in effect is that you end up with quite a lot of hiss when you're recording, and you do need to make sure you haven't got the volume on the transmitter up to full volume, because that would sort of overdrives the camera. If you have a camera which is a little more fancy and has microphone sensitivity adjustments, if you can turn down the sound of a microphone, you probably could get a nice sound out of it, because you'd be able to just turn down the microphone sensitivity on the camera, which would then give you less hiss and probably sound much nicer. Similarly, if you've got something before the camera, some sort of sound mixer, you could probably use that for the same kind of a purpose. It's useful. It has a range of about 30 meters, and I tried it at school up to about 30 or 40 feet away. It's perfectly fine, no degradation in sound quality, and it clearly works, so it would be very useful in some situations, but the hiss factor is there, and is probably enough to maybe put me off wholeheartedly endorsing it, because you can't plug it straight into a camera and just go and have good sound straight away. Currently it's on about a 1/3 volume. I'll just crank it up to halfway, or roughly halfway. There's no markings on the dial to know exactly, but I think that's in the neighbourhood of halfway maybe, and it's obviously quite loud, and going to full volume it's probably going to distort a little bit, because I'm not very loud, but full volume is a very strong signal coming from the transmitter to the receiver, and obviously then into the camera. So $10 US definitely works. Does send a signal nice and clearly. A bit too much of a signal coming out of the receiver. I'll play around with options for trying to reduce that a little bit, but I give it probably 3 out of 5 stars, and that it's not quite perfect for plugging straight into a camera and using, but it obviously does what it says on the box, and it works pretty well. So I had to use the adapter off my shotgun mic to get it plugged into the camera. So it works, it's good. It's not probably quite perfect for plugging straight into a camera, unless you have a camera with adjustable mic sensitivity, in which case you're pretty good, but still probably worthwhile for some applications. If you're in a noisy environment, it's actually pretty good, because the background noise, the camera levels to adjust to that, and it takes a lot of that hiss out. So when I tested it in a classroom with students working in groups and talking, and I was talking with a lapel mic on, really clearly hear what I was saying. Background noise of the students was kind of there, and that completely covered up the hiss, or adjusted it. The camera auto leveled the volume so that the hiss wasn't really a problem. So in some situations actually it works really well straight into the camera, but for a quiet environment interview, maybe not perfect.